A major AEW All In title match is official. Plus, an AEW star returns from a 2-year hiatus. And in a Cultaholic exclusive, we can reveal that The Rock stole a WrestleMania idea from a released WWE star. The cheeky boy. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. Last night's Dynamite, TE was setting up not just for Summer Blockbuster, where we're going to get Swerve and Will Ospreay running it back again.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Mildred. Not just that, but we're getting things in place for All In Texas. And it includes a huge title versus title match, doesn't it, Andrew?
It does. We've been thinking this is what's going to happen for a while now. After Kenny Omega successfully defended his international title last night, he was confronted by, would you believe it, the Continental Champion, Kazuchika Okada. This led to a brawl with Okada narrowly avoiding a one-winged angel, and just before the main event it was made official. Omega and Okada will roll it back, and it will be at All In Texas with both of their titles on the line.
I like the bit where they were shoving each other's belts in the faces.
My belt better than your belt.
My belt better than your belt. This is a legendary story from New Japan.
Yes.
Like, they had some absolute barnstormers.
Absolutely.
In Japan.
And we were wondering, I think, for the longest time when it would be that both of them run it back again, but this time in AEW. And I think for a long while as well, we've thought that this is going to be the case. If both titles being on the line, seems like they might want to get the Continental title out of the picture and merge the two together.
It very much feels that way. Who do you have winning it?
Omega, I think.
You reckon?
I think I would like to see Okada do something a little bit more in the higher title picture. Okada versus, if he wins, by the way, Hangman Page for the AEW World Championship would be something I would very much like to see.
That's quite a nice idea, actually.
Yeah.
We can get there. I kind of felt like Okada was going to win this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I just feel like I'd like to see him do something a little bit more substantial, away from the mid card and maybe up to the upper card.
Maybe, yeah, it would have been nice if I had maybe a little bit, but I feel like this is kind of where you have the one title to rule them all.
Yes.
The international title and the continental title merged together to form.
Don't say it.
The Continental Championship.
There we go. That's the one.
Oh, got away with that. Also confirmed for All In Texas, the AEW Women's World title is on the line. Toni Storm taking on Mercedes Moné. Does Mercedes continue to belt collect?
I think she might, you know. I think she very well might do. And, of course, we have the AEW World title match as well. Jon Moxley, the champion, goes up against the Owen winner, Hangman Adam Page.
Is this the end of the Death Riders?
Please.
That would be
Tony, please.
Lovely. A new beginning for the talent formerly known as Tay Conti. Tay Conti. Tay Mello's back.
Yeah, she is. She made a return last night at Fyter Fest. She saved Anna Jay from an attack at the hands of Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford, as Ross does like to say. It was a back injury, then maternity leave, that left Ty away from AEW since early 2023. Nice to see her back. She got a good pop, and it feels like more than ever now, with sort of like the rumblings of some AEW Women's Tag Team Championships. It feels like the right time to introduce them.
And Ty's here just as Harley Cameron is taking time away as well.
Yeah.
So like that's all kind of merged in like that. The timing is decent for Ty to make a comeback here. So we'll probably see Ty and Anna Jay against Bayne and Ford at a future date.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Fingers crossed they do introduce those women's championships, because it feels like a feud that would benefit from them. I think
it would. Evolve introduced a women's championship last week, and it was Carly Armstrong who became the first ever WWE Evolve Women's Champion. Last night on Evolve, they crowned the first ever men's WWE Evolve Champion, and I know I was like you, heart in my throat when Andrew's favourite, Edris Enofe, I just think he's neat.
He's just neat. He's just a neat guy.
Did not get the job done.
Boo.
Who did?
Boo. Jackson Drake did. Instead, he became the inaugural WWE Evolve Evolve Men's Champion. He defeated Sean Legacy, Keanu Carver, and Idris Enofe in a four-way. Drake was then presented with the title by NXT's Javon Evans. This comes on, as Tom's mentioned there before, after Evolve crowned Carly Armstrong the first ever WWE Women's Evolve Champion.
So champ's in place and away we go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about Jackson Drake. I've watched a little bit of the match, and I think he's neat. No,
I think he's neat.
I think he's very good. And the fact that Javon Evans presented him with the championship as well, I could maybe see them two doing something down the line too. And I think their styles would mash really well as well.
I think there's it would certainly do well for them if that was something that ended up happening. I for one think that Jackson Drake, part of Vanity Project, obviously they had a showcase on NXT this week. I thought that was nice to see them getting a shine on there as well, which was good. I'm intrigued to see sort of how Evolve shakes up and shapes up now we got the champions in place. Now, I had a chat this week with friend of the show, Barry.
Big Baz.
Gallus Boys on top. In a Cultaholic exclusive, I caught up with Wolfgang. Now, Gallus recently released from WWE, so it was nice to have a good excuse to chat for about an hour and a half with Barry about all things WWE, moving to America, his love for motorbikes, talk a lot about bikes, and, of course, him getting the call to go train The Rock for his WrestleMania return.
Of course, yeah.
This was I can remember when that picture came out and went, "Whoa,
what's
The Rock's
going on?"
joined Gallus." Barry told us a story exclusively to Cultaholic that I'm excited to share with you today. So basically, whilst they were doing the training, Joe and Mark Coffey and Wolfgang were approached a few times for some help with certain spots in the match. So in the match, so part of the training was that Gallus had to play different people within that match.
Did he tell you who they played?
Yeah, I'm going to see.
I'm excited.
Who do you think Wolfgang played?
I think Wolfgang played Roman Reigns.
He played Roman Reigns. That was it. Spot on. He played Roman Reigns. And they did also the rehearsals for that bit. And there was one spot in particular, Wolfgang says, I'm going to get this story out there. The Rock, he is pretending where we're on the table. If I take you back to The Rock going through the table spot. So you know where the Rock hooks up Cody.
Yep.
To go through the table. And then Cody ends up reversing it, sends him through. So initially in training, The Rock was unsure of how to actually go from facing the one announce table to facing the other without having to do-si-do around the table. Enter our boy Wolfgang, enter our boy Barry, who actually says, well, why don't you do it so you're facing this way, so you're looking like you're going to go through the table in the front, but Cody ends up switching it up and sending you through the table in the back.
Makes sense.
To which The Rock repeated exactly what Wolfgang said back to him, word for word. And Barry says, I explained it, and then The Rock, the big cheeky bastard, repeated what I said word for word. I went, correct, and he went, yeah, now I've got it on camera. I've got me saying it, so it looks like my idea. Cheeky, because he had the $7 production team with him.
Yes.
Filming for it as well. So if a documentary ever comes out of The Rock going, all right, so this is what we're going to do, Wolfgang said it first.
Wolfgang said it first.
Wolfgang goes on to say, Mark and Joe, they had input in the match as well. It was wild sitting at home watching WrestleMania with my dad going, watch this bit. This is what's going to happen. That was me. I did that. People can believe it if they want. The producers get annoyed at me for telling the story, but that was my input into the WrestleMania main event, stopping The Rock from doing a silly little do-si-do. He does go on to be very glowing about The Rock, despite calling him a cheeky bastard. Wolfgang says Rock sent them gifts afterwards as well. Seemed to have as much of a good time as they did as well. He described him as humble, and it sounded like they had a good laugh together. You can hear all that went down, including some funny shenanigans involving private jets. That's relatable, isn't it?
So relatable.
Relatable. You can hear the full interview with Wolfgang right now at Cultaholic on the news podcast feed. Meanwhile, it's a pay-per-view weekend.
Not only have we got pictures that has this wonderful man on them this week, which, oh my goodness as well, that pitch that you pitched, it was so good that I can't say it here because people need to go and actually watch it. So you can watch pictures for WWE Money in the Bank on the channel right now. Later on, myself and Adam will be doing predictions for that show as well, and we will have the live reacts on Saturday, youtube.com/cultaholic/live. Not to mention, you've got Jack the Jobber doing What Happened At as well, and the WTF moments with bloody Ross too. He's a lovely boy.
He is such a lovely boy, and he will be your WTF boy when we come round next week. And of course, for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out cultaholic.com. Keys.
Love you, bye.